Finally, nope, not The Rock has come back. I have seen Ant-Man and the Wasp. It has been 1 month since it has come out in the United States of America, and finally, last night at Odeon Screen Unseen, I took the risk. I went to go and see it. It could have been like Equalizer 2, which I don't know why they didn't call it Equalize 2 Equalized. That would have been a better name. You know, dog, hire me for the naming of movies. I like doing that. But no, it was not the movie of Equalizer 2. It was Ant-Man and the Wasp, and the crowd erupted with cheers that it was Ant-Man and the Wasp. It is out here in the UK on Thursday, but no, I got to see it full. Finally, Lady Luck has shone down upon me. God, no, this channel is could do with some luck. But Ant-Man and the Wasp was stunning. It was fun. The middle part of the act was a bit fell a bit flat. But overall, it was really, really fun, and we got to see more of the ex-con crew and more capers with Hank Pym and Janet Van Dyne, and also Hope Van Dyne, with Hope Van Dyne actually stealing the show in this movie, which, while many people do bemoan the female characters or the supporting female characters take over, Iris West, Felicity Smoke, well, here it actually worked very, very well. And to be honest, it was done in a very smart and fun way. And this was very much not just an Ant-Man movie, but the Wasp, Evangeline Lilly's Hope Van Dyne, has very much made a case and staked a claim that there can be very, very credible female superheroes in the MCU, which is very, very good because we've got Captain Marvel arriving in a couple of months' time. I say a couple of months, it's like 9 months, I believe, until we get Captain Marvel. But this movie, like I said, was fun. Now, one thing which I thought was a bit of a letdown and kind of did the whole It's All Connected MCU universe a bit of a disservice was the fact that we never really had much going on in the way of Infinity War. Now, obviously, this does focus 2 years after Civil War, where we see Scott Lang under house arrest, and the rest of Team Ant-Man have really kind of disowned him and stopped talking to him because, well, they're annoyed that he went to Germany and fought Iron Man and the rest of the Avengers. Now, I was a bit worried that they would just cast him off like that because, well, he did do it for a noble cause, but then again he did rob VistaCorp for a noble cause, and, well, he was sent to prison for that. However, here the team of Hank and Hope, they are searching for Janet Van Dyne. However, they are on the run because they also breached the Sokovia Accords there. The Agent Wu mentioned to Scott Lang and very much to the audience, and that is Special Agent Wu, who was also a big character in the comics and led his own actual team of kind of, not Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., but his own version of the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. there. And I love the fact that she very much, he mentions it to Cassie Lang about this. He explains why Hope and Hank are on the run as well, and it was very much a reference towards the audience. It's very cleverly, very well done, but we don't really get much in the way of mentioning at all with Infinity War. So perhaps what happens is, so they are on the run, they do everything, and eventually they save Janet Van Dyne, of course. But the problem is they don't mention any of this. So we could have we have a bit after just before the credits where we have Scott going into the quantum realm. So that could be a time jump of like 6 months, and literally just as they're doing that, this is when the happens. So yeah, I think it may be a timing thing perhaps. Maybe nothing is particularly going on in the world of the Avengers until that last like kind of moment, and that's when they're doing their sort of thing really. So yeah, I think that's perhaps why, but it just felt a bit lame considering the fact that we had Infinity War just a couple of months ago. But that's the way we roll with the punches there. And I've got even more disappointment that Infinity War doesn't come out on 4K Blu-ray in the UK until September the bloody third. So I'm going to be trying to search for a region-free version of that disc. So let me know in the comments if you know any ways to get 4K Blu-rays early. Now, what I really liked about this was that this was very much a story of fathers and daughters, much in the way the first one was, when we had Scott and Cassie, and we had Hope and Hank. It wasn't really played up much with Scott and Cassie, but here he has messed up again and is again in trouble with the law. So again, we focus more on that, and we have Cassie being a real big part of this, and she really very much wants to become a hero just like her father, which I expect that if we move forward in Avengers 4, there will be a time jump, there will be time vortices there that Janet Van Dyne warns that there are time vortices inside the quantum realm. Well, I can see him falling into that and being spat out into the future, and Cassie has taken on the role of Ant Person, I guess. But this is very much, like I said, we've got three tales of fathers and daughters. So we've got Scott and Cassie, we've got Hope and Hank, and we also have Bill Foster and Ghost, who had a very intriguing story and backstory there with Elias Starr, who was Eggman, and we've got a Gotham connection here. So if you watch Gotham on this channel, we do cover Gotham because it's a pretty damn good show. So we had Professor Pig play Elias Starr, and we had one of Jerome's kind of acolytes play one of the characters in Ex-Con, and one of the funniest bits was when it was mentioning Baba Yaga, and the music just starts playing. It was absolutely hilarious. I loved that. And the comedy was completely on point. But Bill Foster and Ghost here, he took her in after the fall of S.H.I.E.L.D. She was a weapon of S.H.I.E.L.D. And I would really love to see her pop up in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. in the future, because she is a great kind of crossover character. And I can't really see that happening, to be honest. It would be cool if it did, and have her show up after the snapping and things like that. But I think the time has really gone with those kind of crossovers. It probably won't ever happen, which is a real shame to me. It is a shame that won't happen. But one of the big problems I had with this movie was the fact that we never really saw much backstory. There were parts of the movie where it was just slow, and it was kind of a bit really big exposition, and we saw a lot of things for no reason. And it would have been nice to see some more backstory. So we saw backstory of how Lewis and, of course, Scott met. But it would have been nice to see some more backstory upon Janet and Hank. And maybe more footage like they had previously. And maybe like in the Iron Fist storyline, in the Netflix show, where we saw Iron Fist, or the old version of Iron Fist in World War II, fighting. It would have been nice to see that, which would have been, it would have been cool. And seeing more of Bill Foster and Hank Pym, I expect that will probably be in the deleted scenes. We saw the young version of Lawrence Fishburne, and I was just like, how do they even make them look so young? It's just amazing. But seeing those two work together, and kind of her being more in the S.H.I.E.L.D., Hank and Bill's kind of falling out, that'd be nice to see. It would have been really nice to see, and have shed some more exposition on just why Bill was doing what he was doing in helping. But this was very much, like I said, a story of fathers and daughters, even if they're not actually, together, like, related. So it was very cool how that worked and played out, and it had a nice little narrative theme going. Another thing which was a problem with this movie was that Scott Lang was so dumb. And this very much had the point of where they explained all the sciencey things, and he goes, "In English, please." And I was just like, what? He is an electrical engineer master. He has a master's in electrical engineering. He was a successful criminal before, so why is he so dumb? Why didn't they explain the quantum realm, quantum entanglement, and quantum tunnels to him? Because he would probably understand it if he was so clever. And it's really odd that they've gone this way of making him the comic kind of dummy. Very much the Deadpool there of the MCU. Now, the quantum realm is a huge part of this movie, and we saw it again, and basically the whole crux of this movie is the fact that we did have Scott saved in the first movie by Janet Van Dyne, and he did explore the quantum realm and was saved. He was able to get out of the quantum realm. I really did like that. I like that idea, and it was cool how it opened and things like that with Hope and Hank on the run. So Janet has very much gone Mad Max style. She's got her like a spear sword thing with her wing. She's got like a half mask. It just looked really cool. I thought it looked really badass. And it's kind of interesting to see how the quantum realm works here, because of course this is a replacement for the microverse, which Hasbro have the rights for. And it's also a version of the negative zone, which explains why Captain Marvel will be using this in her movie, because the negative zone is such a big part of the Captain Marvel storyline. So, with that in mind, it's very weird how it kind of tricks you. So you think you're like, we saw Hank in there, and he was having these flashbacks and these weird sort of feelings and things like that. So we had Janet save him there, which worked really, really well. And these quantum kind of particle things, they're going to be key. And they're going to be key, I think, to how Thanos will be defeated. Maybe that will be used to make the Stark Gauntlet. They'll use the time vortices to go back in time. They could make some quantum realm armor. I mean, that'd be pretty damn cool as well. Or we could see them gain powers from the quantum realm. The kind of things are infinite here in the quantum realm, as to see how it could be playing in to Avengers 4. As we saw with Ghost, it was very unstable. So the powers that she got were unstable there. But Janet spent so long in there, her body adapted to the quantum realm. And poor old Ghost, well, she didn't. And she looked really cool. It would have been nice to have some more kind of perspective on her. And if she was such a good person or things like that, she was so kind of angry she was used as a tool, maybe perhaps she would have understood, maybe trying to kill Janet or risking Janet wouldn't have been what she wanted to do. And Ghost felt very underdeveloped and a bit kind of basic, even though her powers looked really cool. But we had Sonny Birch as well, a third player. So we had 3 players again, and 3 narratives of 3 families. Yeah, I guess that's how that works. So that worked very, very well there. But Sonny Birch has a mysterious buyer. Who is that? Norman Osborn. I think that'd be dope. I absolutely would love that. But we do have, sadly, he is stuck. So Scott Lang is stuck in the quantum realm. What will happen to him? Who knows? And I expect him to come across a time vortex and fly into the future from the Snappening, which would be really cool. Or we could have a brand new player. Perhaps Captain Marvel will snag him out of there as well, which I think would be really, really awesome. There were hints as well that we have had some weird civilizations within the quantum realm. And again, I'm gutted that we never learned more about Janet's time in the quantum realm. What was in the quantum realm? Are there civilizations in there at all? Again, it didn't really answer a lot. It was very much a standalone movie, which is fair enough. But to the enthusiast, the kind of obsessive like myself, it felt a bit lacking. However, it was a great film, a great sequel to one of the best movies in the MCU. However, that is it for this video. Please drop a like, please subscribe. See you soon. Goodbye.